An unforgettable journey she probably won't remember. Disney Pixar's Finding Dory. Now, Finding Dory is a sequel we've all been waiting for. 13 years after Finding Nemo, and we finally get Finding Dory. Now, as far as Finding Dory goes, it's a really good story movie. The story just grabs you in and it pulls you in. And once again, you have Ellen DeGeneres back as Dory. Now, from when this movie starts off, you do get some scenes of baby Dory. You may have seen her in the trailers. Now, the baby Dory scenes, they are a bit emotional and they do tug at your heart. Alright, now I'm getting too emotional, guys. Let's go back. Alright, so, yeah, the Finding Dory scenes, the baby scenes, they're really emotional. They really get, like, even the oldest man getting very emotional. I got emotional during these scenes, and it's like, they really did a good job directing it and pacing out the story. Now, once again, you have Marlin and Nemo back again, once again, in this movie. And Marlin and Nemo, they're not just in this movie for 5 minutes. They're in their movie from start to end. Yeah, they're in here from start to end. They really help Dory, and they're on the mission with her too. They're not just in there like, oh, we got Marlin and Nemo back again. No, they're actually doing stuff and they're helping out. Now, in this movie, you do have supporting characters, which would be an octopus, a whale, and all sorts of other fun creatures. And these fun creatures, they're not just in there for kids to like, oh, that creature's there, I like that. Well, that's not it. They're actually in there, they're comedic too, and they actually serve a purpose. They're actually helping her and doing stuff, and you really get invested in each of these characters. There's something about each of these characters to like, and they're not just there for fun, they're there to help too. Now, Finding Dory, the story, it's really good. It's really paced out from start to end, really nice, and that's one aspect I really liked about it. The story, it's so on par, like it's a solid story. It's a really good sequel from Finding Nemo. Now, think of Finding Dory as sort of like the Terminator 2 of the Terminator. Yeah, I'd go as far as saying that. Finding Dory, it's a really good sequel. The story's on point, the characters are there, and the characters are not just there for comedic effect. The characters are really intriguing, and they really do stuff and get stuff done. Now, Marlin and Nemo, I really liked how they're back again, and they're not just in there for a short amount of time, they're in there from start to end. Now, Dory, as far as acting goes, the voice acting is really good in this movie. Dory, Marlin, Nemo, even the rest of the gang, all their acting and their voice is really good. Now, the animation in this movie, it does hold up to Finding Nemo. You do see the similarities, but I gotta say they upped it a bit color-wise. And the animation is just done really good. It looks really realistic. The story is really on point. It's paced nice from start to end, and you really get invested in all these characters in the story. You really care for what's going on. And this is not just one of those lame-ass sequels that they put out. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Cars 2. This was actually a good sequel that fans wanted to see. And now towards the third act, if I were to be picky, a negative I could think about is it's a bit coincidental towards the end. And that scene with the truck, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I may have seen this in other reviews, but the truck scene, it gets a bit hard to believe. But I gotta say, the first and second act are really good. The third act is good too, but just because of pickiness, I would say just the third act is a bit weaker, but the first and second act are good. But other than that, Finding Dory, it's a really good sequel. I really enjoyed it. Is it as good as Finding Nemo? Yeah, it's on the same level, I gotta say, even though it's a sequel. Something that I liked about this movie was the fact that there are subtle references to Finding Nemo, and they're not just like in your face, like, oh, you have to watch Finding Nemo to understand these references. The references are subtle. There's like one or two references that reference Finding Nemo, and they're small. They reference it. Like if you watch Finding Nemo, you'd be like, hey, that's what happened in Finding Nemo, and now we're seeing it again in Finding Dory. They are subtle references, like short references, but they do a good job and they're not too in your face. Now, if you want to watch this Finding Dory without seeing Finding Nemo, yeah, I think you'd understand the story and what's going on. But the references, you may be like, oh, what's happening here? But they're not like big references that you're like, oh shit, I don't understand the movie anymore. They're like nice, calm references. So that aspect I really like about this movie. Now, as far as Finding Dory goes, yeah, this was a really good sequel. I'd recommend this to anybody that likes movies, or even if you like Finding Nemo, you're gonna like this. So to conclude, Finding Dory is a really good sequel. I really enjoyed it. Great story, great characters, great acting, great comedy. It's a really good movie. And not just a good kids movie, it's good for everybody. I'd recommend this to anybody that likes movies. Now for Finding Dory, I'm going to give this movie a 9.5 out of 10. That would be an A+. So anyways guys, that's my review of Finding Dory, and remember, if you like what you see here, remember to hit that like button and subscribe. Until the next video, I'll see you guys next time.